Let's solve equations using the square root operation. Equation 1, x squared equals 36. And remember that we're going to have two solutions for the equation. Blank and blank are the solutions to the equation x squared equals 36. Let's begin with step 1. Identify and isolate the square operation. In this step, we are looking for the variable that is part of the square operation. We see the variable expression as part of our square operation. So we have identified the square operation. Let's make sure that it's isolated, and it is isolated here because it is alone on one side of the equation. How did we identify and isolate the square operation? To identify the square operation, first we looked for the variable that was part of the square expression, and then we made sure it was isolated. Step 2. Square root both sides. We'll draw the square root operation over both sides of the equation. On the number side of the equation, we make sure to include the plus and minus. When we do evaluate the square root of 36, we need to remember that there's a positive and a negative answer. The square root operation is the inverse of the squared operation, so the expression inside comes out alone. On the right-hand side, we're taking a plus and minus answer of the square root of 36. The square root of 36 equals 6, so we have a positive and negative 6. How did we square root both sides? We use the square root operation on both sides of the equation, knowing that that is the inverse for the square operation, and on the other side, with the number, we made sure to include both a positive and negative value for that square root of 36, giving us positive and negative 6. Step 3. Solve both equations, positive and negative, for the variable. Create two equations. First, for the positive, then for the negative. X equals positive 6, and now if we only use the negative, then we get x equals negative 6. And we now have our two solutions to this equation. Positive 6 and negative 6 are the solutions to the equation x squared equals 36. How did we solve the equation? To solve this equation, we took the equation with the positive and negative sign and broke it into two individual equations, one for the positive, one for the negative. These already were solved because the variable was isolated alone on one side, and so we have our two solutions, positive 6 and negative 6, to the equation x squared equals 36. You are now ready to find the two solutions to equation number 2 using the square root operation.